The lure of humor is so powerful. The ability to entertain your listeners in a speech or presentation makes you want to give it a try at your next meeting or event. And you know, there are people out there who have that gift, who have the skill to make people laugh. And then sadly, there are others who don't have that gift. And that's why we need to understand the rules of when humor works and when it doesn't work. And we'll begin with the rules of when it doesn't work. Number one, as George Burns, the great late comic, said, the audience must like you to enjoy your humor. So if they don't know you from a hole in the wall and they're meeting you for the first time, opening with humor is inappropriate. Obviously, the second rule is, if you're not a very funny person in everyday communication, then you've got to ask yourself the question, what makes you think that the gift will come to you in front of a live audience? That's right. Funny during the day, funny during presentation. The third rule of when not to use it is when you are nervous. If you're nervous, you're bound to blow the punchline to your joke. And suddenly, no one's laughing until they see you decompose before them. And as you start breaking down and crying, that's when they laugh. You've achieved your goal to make them laugh. And then the fourth rule is when you make presentations on serious subjects, forget humor. It's totally inappropriate. I mean, are you in HR, in IT, or finance and you have serious information and news to report? Humor is the last tool you want to consider. Imagine for a second, you're in HR, you're working for TD Bank, and you tell the audience, good news for our CEO, just received a 10% pay increase, topping $9 million for the past year. Sadly, 350 employees have been laid off. Isn't that ironic? I mean, that's almost enough to make you laugh. This brings me to the second part of this video, and this segment is on how and when to use humor. Rule number one, you use it when it's a social environment. I'm talking where you can give speeches such as in weddings, in birthday anniversaries, retirement parties. For example, you might stand there and say, on behalf of the entire group, I want to thank Jim for his 30 years of contribution to the organization. During that time, he only performed 3 days of actual work, but he was a master at delegation, job responsibility avoidance, and of course, delegating blame. We wish him well. The second particular time when you want to use humor is when your boss loves you. That's right, your numbers are up. You're the top dog, baby. So let's just say that you're at this meeting, your boss is in attendance, you're making a presentation, you crack a joke, $5, he'll smile and laugh to set the tone for the rest of the people in the room. By the way, if he doesn't smile or laugh, you're about to be reorganized for the sheer joy of it. And of course, a third time when you can actually use humor effectively is when you're at a retreat with colleagues and co-workers and everybody's in a grand old time. Alcohol has been involved, of course, for crying out loud. People are wearing shorts, women in tank tops. The whole thing is just a social venue under business pretense so it can be a tax write-off. On that basis, then you can use humor, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't really matter. Fair enough? Wait, my favorite time when you should use humor, you've just won the lottery. Or you've just received the job offer and you've accepted and you're about to leave the organization. Now go ahead in your last meeting and presentation, crack a joke. And if they laugh, tremendous. And if they don't, who gives a poo-poo? We capiche? So on that basis, humor is wonderful when it works, but it has so many thorns around the rose of humor. So study comics, watch their timing, and remember, you will only laugh at their material once you appreciate them as people. That's right. They've got to like you so they can laugh at the material that is funny that you present. And that's how you use humor and speak and impress.